Hi, welcome back. Today's lesson is multiplying fractions and whole numbers. Our standard is 6.ns.1. Use models and numbers to multiply fractions and mixed numbers. And your I can statement is I can multiply fractions and whole numbers. So press pause, make sure you got those three things done, and we'll get into our lesson.
So to multiply fractions, we have three very simple steps. We want to do 1/3 times 3/4. So our first step is we're going to multiply the numerators together. Next, we're going to multiply the denominators together. So it's not like adding or subtracting. You don't need common denominators or anything like that. Just multiply numerators, multiply denominators together. Mrs. King, why don't you talk us through this first one?
Okay, so we're going to do top times top, or numerator times numerator, which is 1 times 3, which is 3. And 3 times 4, which is 12. So top times top, bottom times bottom. And then that third step, which is to simplify. So I don't know if you want to write 1, 2, and 3 on your steps, or if you want to set up the example with the circles like Mr. McKenzie has it. But we do have to make sure that we have the 3 steps labeled. Now we need to simplify 3/12 by taking the greatest common factor. In this case, 3 goes both into the numerator and the denominator, so we're going to divide top and bottom by 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 12 divided by 3 is 4, and our final answer is 1/4.
Your answer always has to be written in simplest form when you're done. All right, so let's try a couple together. Start with 1/3 times 2/5. Again, like Mrs. King said, top times top, numerator times numerator. 1 times 2 is 2. Bottom times bottom, 3 times 5 is 15. In this case, 2 and 15 don't have any common factors other than 1, so it's in simplest form already. 1/8 times 3/4. Again, numerator times numerator. 1 times 3 is 3. 8 times 4, denominator times denominator is 32. 3 and 32 have no common factors, so this fraction is in simplest form.
Nice and easy for you, huh?
I saved you the fun one.
Right. In the next example, we have top times top, which is 3 times 5. We have a total of 15 for the numerator, and 5 times 7, which is 35 for our denominators. In this case, we do have something in common. 15 and 35 both end in 5, which means they have a common factor of 5. So we're going to divide that 15/35 by 5 and reduce it to its lowest terms, which is 3/7. Our final answer is 3/7.
So what happens if instead of multiplying two fractions together, we want to multiply a fraction and a whole number together? Our rule was we have to multiply numerators together and denominators, but our whole number doesn't have those two pieces. So here's how we handle it. We're going to write our whole number over 1 to turn it into a fraction. So this time we're going to have 3/5. 4 becomes 4 over 1 because it's 4 whole groups of 1. And then we can go ahead and multiply. 3 times 4 is 12. 5 times 1 is 5. We look to see if we can simplify. 5 and 12 don't have anything in common, but it is an improper fraction, so we need to change it into a mixed number. So we say, how many times does 5 go into 12? It goes in 2 times with 2 left over. So we get a final answer of 2 and 2/5. So we turn that whole number into a fraction by writing it over 1, so we can go ahead and multiply.
Press pause, make sure you got that down.
Make sure you got it down.
All right, 3 more examples. Let's make sure we have these down with the whole numbers. Here we go. 2/3 times 4 over 1. We have numerator times numerator, which is 8, and denominator times denominator, which is 3. Again, we have an improper fraction when we're done. 3 does not, 3 goes into 8 2 complete times, so our whole number is 2. 2 times 3 is 6, and 8 minus 6 is 2, so we have 2/3 left over.
You can keep going.
Thanks. 3/8 times 11 over 1. Top times top gives us 33. Bottom times bottom gives us 8. Change it to a mixed number. 8 goes into 33 4 times. 33 minus 32 is 1. So we have 1/8 left over. And our third example, 2 over 1. We're ready to go. 3 times 2 is 6. 4 times 1 is 4. 4 goes into 6 one time with 2 left over. We have 2 4s left over, but now we are still not done because our numerator and denominator are still even. We're going to have to divide top and bottom by 2 to give us 1 1/2 when we are all done. Don't leave your fractions with even numerator and denominator. You have to reduce it as much as you can.
All right, we're at the end now. So it's your turn to give these two a try. Go ahead, pause, jot the problems down, solve them for yourself. Don't forget to simplify at the end, and then hit play, and we'll walk you through them to see how you did. We really should have some theme song
We do.
or
We need
music
some
back
music.
there. All right, hopefully you've paused it. You've hit play again. You're ready to see how you did. So I'll walk you through the first one. 9 times 4, numerator times numerator, is 36. Denominator times denominator, 10 times 6 is 60.
So we got that far. Good job.
We need to simplify this. So try to figure out what can both 36 and 60 be divided by. There's a couple options. First one that comes to mind might be 6. So we can divide them both by 6. 36 divided by 6 is 6. 6 divided by 6 is 10.
Still even.
But they're both still even numbers, which means we can go farther. In this case, I can divide them both by 2 to keep
Some
simplifying.
of you smarties probably divided by 12.
If you thought of dividing by 12 right off the bat, you would have gone right to your final answer of 3/5. Mrs. King, why don't you help us with our last one?
All right, 8 times 3 gives us 24 for our numerator. 15 times 4. I might have to work that out on paper. 60? Now I'll have to divide by my common factor. A lot of you will go ahead right here and do 6 maybe. Some of you might find the 12. What you going to do, Mr. McKenzie?
Let's go with the big 12.
Going for 12 right off the bat. 24 divided by 12 is 2. 60 divided by 12 is 5. It's okay if you took a step in between and divided by 6. Your final answer should be 2/5.
All right, hopefully you did well. We'll talk about it more in class tomorrow.
I like that 60 denominator.